What's up, what's up? Happy Friday, my friends. Yeah. I've been thinking a lot about, there's no real word of the day or anything like that. Hope you guys had a fantastic week, by the way. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. Do something cool, do something fun, do something healthy. Anyways, I've been thinking a lot about like words and intentions and definitions and meanings, and like it's been coming up lately and stuff, right? And like the definition that you have of a word might be a little bit different. Like we know what the word means, but when somebody says something to you and you go like, you know what I mean? And they just nod their head. Do they really know what you mean and like where you're coming from? So like when you are articulating something to somebody and you go, know what I mean, maybe it's better to like check in with them and be like, well, what did you hear? Like what comes up for you, right? Something like that. And so that you guys are on the same page with what you're trying to say or what you're trying to convey. So you can actually have a structured, meaningful, equal conversation, and not one person is thinking one thing and the other person is thinking the same thing about the same thing, but in different ways. Ooh, hot one. So, and your internal dialogue, I talk about this a lot, right? Like, the way I got out of my shitty situations was by reframing things and being fast at it, right? It takes a while in the beginning. You're not going to be that fast at reframing things. Oh, my life sucks. Oh, I'm too fat. Oh, they got this job. Oh, I didn't get the girl. Oh, like, right? Like, oh, woe's me. But we all have those feelings. But then you got to sit with it. You got to process it. But how fast can you get out of it, right? And how bad do you let it affect you internally? Like, you can stop it like at the front of it, like at the brunt of it, like there's a gatekeeper, you can recognize it and you can be like, but a lot of us, like we recognize it, we see it, and then we validate it, and then we walk through our lives validating it, looking for evidence that it's really true, because we put the meaning on this word that had no meaning whatsoever. The word has no life. The word is a blank nothing until you give it energy, until you give it something, until you make it, give it life. That's what it means. Even if the word means bad, even if the word is bad and it means like, you know, not good, it just like you don't like it, it's like whatever, bad is just you want to like stay away from it, you could still make bad mean good if you wanted to. It's just a word, and you have the choice to make words mean whatever you want, right? The other person might not know what you're talking about, but just like if you're named Jeff, you don't want to be called Jeff no more, you feel like a Greg, just change your name to Greg. You don't actually have to change your name, just start going by Greg. Nobody fucking cares. Who cares, right? And so we get hung up on these rules and these boxes, and we get hung up on these borders and parameters that keep us caged in. But what I'm trying to say is that like the internal talk that you're telling yourself, the story that you're telling yourself, whether it's I don't have enough time, I'm not smart enough, I'll never be able to do it. You've like learned this behavior from somewhere, right? And then the act of like when it happens to you validating it is so fast and it's so unconscious that most of us are living our lives like that, right? Boom, something happens to you, and in like nanoseconds, you internalize it because of the initial feeling that it hits you with, right? Oh, that fucking sucked. That didn't feel good. Oh, if it doesn't feel good, it must be bad, right? Why? And what is bad? And what is angry? And what is mad? What are all these, like, so why are you angry? Angry at what? Like, dig deeper. So maybe I'm not really angry, but I'm really upset because I had a preconceived notion of how I thought things were going to go, and it didn't go that way. So now I'm frustrated, and now I have this feeling in my body of angst and sadness and frustration and like just aggression because I'm just don't know what to do with this energy because it didn't go my way, and now I'm fucking pissed. Or could it just be a life lesson? Could it just be like, well, it didn't go this way, like, and that's evidence of something that you need to tweak or switch or learn more about so it doesn't happen that way anymore, right? And so we often let things come in to our lives and we just accept them. because we feel like that's what it is. It's proven, it's structured, it's in a box, it's been hand-fed to us this way. Bad means bad, means don't do it. Or can bad mean good? Bad can mean, oh my God, I just got all this evidence that I didn't know before, and so I'm not going to do it anymore. Stove, hot, touch stove, burn hand. Don't burn hand, don't touch stove, right? That's good evidence. That's good, whatever, not to touch the stove again, right? And so you can say, yeah, hot stove is bad, but no, hot stove is not bad. Hot stove, cook food, feeds you. You stay alive. Ha, ha, ha. Good stove, right? So, anyways, I don't know. I was just thinking about words and meanings and how two people can have the same conversation and think you're on the same page, but your version of your meaning is like two different things. But that's the cool thing about humanity. All I'm saying is be a free thinker. You don't have to agree with everybody. You don't have to be on the same page as everybody. But just realize that, like, when you're talking about a certain situation or like a specific thing or whatever, and you go, you know what I mean? Don't assume that the person knows what you mean, right? You're like, hey, a good example, like Alex Hormozi was saying, like, in our everyday, he's a marketer if you don't know, in our everyday life, you go, hey, can you send this email? And they go, yeah. Well, you're just trusting that that person knows how to send an email, or knows how to work a computer, or knows how to even get online. Like, you just assume that the person is going to be able to do that. And then you go, okay, send an email. You know what I mean? And they go, yeah. But in their head, they're going, fuck, I don't even know how to use a computer. But you're like, okay. And then some people would figure it out and whatever. But so, just to get more dialed in and just like straight to the fucking point, I feel like we have so many useless words and fillers that we're using. We don't talk direct anymore because we're like afraid to hurt somebody's feelings. And you got to do it with tact, right? But just being a little more direct or a little more like straight to the point, cut out the fillers. The faster you can do that, the faster somebody knows what you mean, the faster you can get on to whatever you're doing and seize the day. That's it. So words are cool. I was just thinking about definitions and how there can be so many different versions of the same thing, and you can be thinking like you're in line with somebody on a conversation. You're like, oh no, we're completely far away. And sometimes, and I don't mean this as a bad thing, I just mean like be aware of it, that it is a thing, right? Because having different opinions, that's how we grow, that's how we evolve, that's how inventions become inventions, that's how things like, oh, it didn't work that way, and somebody sees it and then they tweak it and then whatever, right? So a lot of different things evolve by having two different opinions. Awesome. Just know that first, having a different opinion of somebody is not a bad thing. It's not an argument. Take structured criticism well if it's packaged right, and really check in with somebody, especially if you're having like a heated or a very important conversation. Instead of just, you know what I mean, or you understand, go a couple levels deeper and have them repeat what they heard or what they thought they heard or whatever, just so you can have a dialed in conversation. I love you guys. As always, just stay epic. Don't walk over somebody. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to somebody else. Smile. Ask somebody how their day is, because you never know. It might just save a life. Sorry if I'm yelling. I want to make sure that you hear the message, because there's a lot of road noise. We out here doing 90. Talking on the phone. No, we're not. Just joking. Anyways, hands-free. See, that's good. Anyways, love you guys. Be safe. Have a great weekend. Love you. And do something fun. Peace. I'm out.